We all love cooking on a fire, especially on a cold and windy day like today. But how many of you know how to actually do it properly? What I'm going to do today is show you a few handy tips that I've been using over the years for cooking on a fire in a camp oven. Well, the first step naturally is to build a nice big fire. What we're trying to achieve here is to get a nice big bed of coals. You want heaps and heaps of coals to cook on. You don't necessarily want big logs, so get it going a couple of hours early and you have plenty of coals to cook a nice meal. It's a really good idea to preheat your camp oven in the fire first, as placing a cold camp oven on your bed of coals is going to reduce the heat. Next up, dig a hole the size of your oven and put some coals in it. This helps retain the heat and is handy in windy weather like today. Do this as close to the main fire as safe, which helps retain heat. Now place the camp oven on your coals, but it's important to note you don't need too many coals at this stage, just a small layer as you don't want the bottom of your food to burn. Now a handy little tip for checking the temperature is by tearing off a piece of paper towel and leaving it in the camp oven for 5 minutes. If the paper is yellowish, the oven is moderate. If the paper is light brown, the oven is hot. If the paper is dark brown, the oven is very hot. And if the paper is black and smoking, the oven is too hot. You've done something wrong. Now as you can see, our paper is medium brown, which means the oven is about 200 degrees, the perfect temperature for cooking a roast. Start with a bit of oil just to get everything nice and lubed up. You can cook a roast on a trivet if you like, so the meat and veggies are not sitting in the fat, but I reckon the scratchings on the base of the oven will add delicious flavour to the gravy. When it comes to the coals, you want a ratio of about 1/3 underneath and 2/3 on top. If you put too many coals underneath, you could burn your meat, and hey, you don't want that. Now cooking times can vary slightly, but you want about half an hour per half a kilo of meat. When it comes to veggies, they're going to take about 45 minutes. So pop those in halfway through cooking and you're good to go. It's been cooking for about 20 minutes now, so we just want to check on it to see if it's not burnt. So all you need to do is scrape coals off the top. Now, if you don't want to get ash in your food, a good little tip is to have a brush. Now once you've brushed it off, just have a little look inside. That's a roast chicken. Well, the chicken's got about 45 minutes left to go, so it's time to chuck in the veggies. We've got some pumpkin, potatoes, some garlic, some onion, and some carrot. So now we just got to scrape off the coals from the top of the campfire. Just pop them in. So it's been on for a couple of hours now, nearly 2 hours. We've had the veggies on for 45 minutes and I reckon we have a look and see how it's turned out. Give it a quick little dust, make sure we don't get any of the ash in there. Moment of truth. How good is that? That, my friends, is how you cook a roast. So now I'm going to make some gravy. So we're just going to take the chicken and the veggies out and we'll get started on that. Add a small amount of water to the camp oven or use red wine if you'd like. We've opted to use Gravox, just a few spoonfuls though. Stir the Gravox thoroughly and ensure you get those delicious scratchings mixed in. Once thickened, you can add it to this fantastic roast and dig in. Well, wasn't that delicious? The problem is now we've got a bit of a mess to clean up. So when it comes to cleaning and storing your camp oven, what you want to do is try and scoop out as much as possible of whatever's left in there. And you want to fill that up with just probably halfway with water, put that back in the fire, put the lid back on, let it boil through, let it do all the hard work for you. Don't use any soap, very important. So when that's all done, bring it out, let it dry, and just coat the inside with a light amount of oil. Just put a bit of oil on some paper towel, smear it through, and you're ready to store it. And it'll be good to go for your next adventure because you're going to want to do this again. It's absolutely delicious.